Welcome to Cinque Terre, which means 5 lands. It consists of 5 villages, namely Monteruzzo, Almare, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Rimazzo. The coastline, the 5 villages, and the surrounding hillsides are all part of the Cinque Terre National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Come and join me in this Pia's Travel in Italy Part 2. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Pia Dina. Today, I will be sharing with you the other stunning places I visited in Italy in 2015. To start with, Cinque Terre is a coastal area within Liguria in the northwest of Italy. It lies in the west of La Spezia province. The Cinque Terre area is a popular tourist destination. Over the centuries, people have built terraces on the rugged, steep landscape right up to the cliffs that overlook the Ligurian Sea. Paths, trains, and boats connect the villages. To explore the Italian Riviera, I availed a day trip to the beautiful Cinque Terre from Florence via viator.com. Led by a tour guide, we discovered each fishing village by coach, train, and boat, from the beaches of Monteruzzo to the charming streets of Riomazzo. We stopped by a couple of times to swim in the turquoise waters. We soaked up the scenic views and distinct characters of Riomazzo, Manarola, Monteruzzo, and Vernazza. For me, all the 5 villages are equally beautiful, stunning, fascinating, jaw-dropping. I was so glad to avail this tour from Florence. While on each village, we were given independent sightseeing time to enjoy the beaches and the sceneries. Cinque Terre is indeed one of Italy's most captivating landscapes. We headed first to the southernmost part village of Riomazzo, which dates back to the 13th century. Beloved for its local wine and incomparable scenery, we admired the pastel-colored buildings along the cobblestone streets. Next, we headed to the tiny village of Manarola, home to medieval relics and a plethora of grapevines. We strolled the harbor and, of course, takes a lot of snapshots of the beautiful, bright buildings that cling to the cliff. Next, we hop on a boat to travel to Monteruzzo. And since I opted for my lunch to be included in the ticket, I sat down in one of the village restaurants for a traditional seafood pasta with complimentary wine and water. After lunch, we were given some time to explore the village on our own. The final stop is in Vernazza, bordered by terraced olive groves that are said to produce some of the finest olive oil in Italy. We explored the bustling square and winding streets at our own leisure. I can't help but hit the jeweled waters of Monteruzzo's stunning beaches. On my nth day, I traveled to Venice from Florence via train. I lost counting the days because of the endless beauty of Italy. I was literally lost on my first 2 hours in Venice looking for the hostel I booked via booking.com. Because of inaccuracy of the GPS at that time, I literally let my luggage fell from the stairs rather than dragging it up and down. And when I finally arrived in the hostel, I just freshened up and ready to go to explore Venice. Venice, or Venetia, or Venetian, is a city in northeastern Italy and the capital of the Veneto region. It is situated on a group of 118 small islands that are separated by canals and linked by over 400 bridges. The islands are located in the Swallow Venetian Lagoon, an enclosed bay that lies between the mouths of the Po and the Piave rivers. Venice has been known as Queen of the Adriatic, City of Water, City of Mass, City of Bridges, the Floating City, and City of Canals. The lagoon and part of the city are listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Parts of the Venice are renowned for the beauty of their settings, their architectures, and artwork. With the map from the hotel, I explored Venice by foot. I visited Basilica di San Marco. It is one of the things that you have to do when you are in Venice. Basilica di San Marco is the most important church in the city and one of the most important monuments in Italy for its opulent design, gold grounds mosaics, and its status as a symbol of Venetian wealth and power. From the 11th century on, the building has been known by the nickname Chiesa di Oro, or Church of Gold. And who am I not to admire the Gothic art of the Palazzo Ducale? Palazzo Ducale is a masterpiece of Gothic art and a repository of innumerable art treasures. It features a number of different and intricate architectural details dating from the 9th century. I walked through the Ponte dei Sospiri. Ponte dei Sospiri is a Baroque bridge that once connected Palazzo Ducale to the prisons. The Bridge of Sighs is one of Venice's most important sites. I spent 2 hours in the Canal Grande, the most beautiful street in the world. The Canal Grande is the main waterway of Venice, lined in both sides by an uninterrupted series of palaces and masterpieces. I walk through on both sides, take photos, observe the people, and smile a lot. Traveling solo on beautiful places makes me smile a lot. I can't resist but smile in appreciating the beauty of the places I visited. While in Venice, I availed Murano half-day tour. Murano is another of the islands within the Venice district. Murano is actually made up of several small islands connected together by series of canals and bridges, just like Venice. Murano has a wonderful charm and is often not as busy as the main areas of Venice. This wonderful island town has numerous sites including the Basilica di Santa Maria, the Camposanto Stefano, and the Palazzo de Mula. Murano is famous for its glass-blowing demonstrations at the various factories that are established there. I availed the Murano, Burano, and Torcello half-day sightseeing tour from Venice through viator.com. By joining the group tour, we visited Torcello, Murano, and Burano, the three islands in the Venetian lagoon. Rode a motorboat to visit each island. We watched glass being blown at a Murano glass factory. We saw historical cathedrals in Torcello and the exquisite handmade lace in Burano. Joining the tour is a great way to see more than just the central sights of Venice and to enjoy a cruise on the water. On each day I was in Venice, I would pass by St. Mark's Basilica. Since it is located in the Piazza San Marco, it is easily accessible from the Grand Canal. Whilst St. Mark's Basilica is the most famous building in Venice, St. Mark's Square is the most famous piazza. Located on the Grand Canal opposite the island of San Giorgio Maggiore, this square holds huge importance in Venice and is truly a spectacular place to visit. Several important buildings are located on the square, including St. Mark's Campanile, St. Mark's Basilica, Doge Palace, and the Torre del Orologio. San Marco Campanile is the tallest structure in Venice. The campanile is a towering building that stands a colossal 98.6 meter high. Made of a simple red brick design, the main shaft is quite simple, but the bell housing and the pinnacle features a myriad of arches and stonework, and the top features a golden statue of the angel Gabriel. You can take the elevator up to the top for the best panoramic views of Venice. Who cares if I'm traveling solo in one of the most romantic cities in the world? I was busy taking hundreds of selfies to envy the couples around me. Not all couples can travel to Venice, but I did it on my own. What I'm trying to say is I don't and I won't wait for someone to travel the world. I make it happen. Undeniably, Venice is worth to visit. It is not a tourist trap. It should be in every traveler's bucket list. Whether you are a couple or single, whether you are old, young, as you will be surely stunned by the beauty of Venice. Italy didn't fail me. It has a lot of beautiful places to see and visit. From Venice, I traveled to Milan via train to meet my aunt, uncle, and cousins, who are living in Italy for more than a decade at that time. Milan, or Milano, is a city in northern Italy, capital of Lombardy, and the second most populous city in Italy after Rome. Milan served as the capital of the Western Roman Empire, the Duchy of Milan, and the Kingdom of Lombardy, Venetia. The city has been recognized as one of the world's four fashion capital. It attracts 8 million visitors every year. In Milan, you can visit museums and art galleries that include some of the most important collections in the world, including major works by Leonardo da Vinci. Milan is known as the economic heart of Italy. Many headquarters of the financial industry are based in Milan. Milan is a very walkable city, but if you don't like walking, trams and metros are readily available and can transport you to anywhere in the fashion and finance capital. My visit to Milan is double purpose, to explore the city and to visit my auntie, uncle, and my cousins. Shout out to them. Hi Tito Nick, Tito Benny, Venus, Herbert, Percy, Christine, and Gab. While in Milan, I visited Milan Cathedral, or Duomo di Milano. It is the Cathedral Church of Milan, Lombardy, Italy. Dedicated to the Nativity of Saint Mary, it is the seat of the Archbishop of Milan, currently Archbishop Mario Delpini. It is the largest church in Italy, larger St. Peter's Basilica is in the state of Vatican City, a sovereign nation, and the second largest in Europe and the fourth largest in the world. Not able to see most of them, as I only spent 3 days and 2 nights in Milan, as I headed up to my next destination, France. Thank you for watching this part 2 of my Italy's travel in 2015. Please like and comment and share. And watch out for my next video. Bye-bye! Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Like, comment, and share.